Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello everybody, TGIF. Today is the Product Owner and of course Friday episode, this week with Mike Lyons. Hey Mike, welcome back.
Hey there, good to see you.
So yesterday we were just getting started with challenging questions, so let's jump right into another one. We'll talk about a great product owner in a minute, but first share with us potentially the worst product owner anti-pattern you've witnessed in your career. Describe that for us.
Yeah, I could see his face, but I think this will resonate with a lot of people. It's the super technical product owner. It's the product owner that was once a developer, and in this case, he was a web developer, and he was the product owner for a mobile app, and he is very smart. He's smarter than I am. He's way smarter than I am about like web app development. What do I know? However, the move from developer into product owner, it was a career progression move, sort of moving out of IT and into the business, caused for a period of time, caused some difficulties for the team because when I'm sure Scrum Masters in the audience, you probably can know where this is going. During sprint planning would be solutioning with the team. And I would have to remind him, you own the what and the what order. The team owns the how and how much. We have to separate those two. So I've seen that not only in the mobile app, but just in other spaces too. And I'm sure that resonates with people. People have probably been here too. But here's another one. Let's get two examples. Another one is the disengaged PO, who is sort of said things like, "I've already got a full-time job. I'm supposed to be a PO as well." It's like, well, yes, you are. We need you to be the voice of the customer and order the backlog. And I don't have time for that. Why don't you have somebody be my proxy? And so you end up with this proxy PO. Well, that's another anti-pattern, sort of, I don't have time, or the PO accountability was just tacked on to my existing day job. So there you go. So those are two examples.
I think there's a kind of a similarity between these two characters, which is that they were both pushed by external factors into the PO role, right?
That's an interesting observation. I hadn't connected the dots there before.
One of the things that we ask from product owners is vision. And vision usually comes with passion, interest, advocacy, right? And I can't help but thinking that if somebody's pushed to be a PO and they don't have that vision, that passion, or they don't want to be advocates for the users and customers, how likely is it that they could ever even do a good job?
That's a good point as well. And I think that is a good transition to think about what makes a successful PO, because if those two examples were maybe the anti-pattern, one of the most important success factors for a product owner, you hit it, is a vision, is a passion for your product, a passion for understanding and being an advocate for your users, and being able to translate that into something we can now, as the development team, go deliver against. Those are some of the best product owners I've ever worked with. They understand their customer deeply. They practice empathy mapping exercises. They go on the customer journey. Oh my gosh, I had such a terrible experience recently with a rent payment for my mom, of all things. My mom's renting a house. I had to help her with a rent payment. It was terrible. And I finally got a hold of what was as close to a product owner as I could find. And I said, you should just take the user journey with me. Let me share my screen and show you. And they had never even considered that would be a thing to do. Good product owners have taken the user journey. They would understand that. They know where their pains are. That was what's going to make a good product owner.
And I think because we're jumping into this idea of what is a great product owner, I think it would be good for us to hear one of those stories. So what was one of those great product owners you've worked with? How did they work?
Yeah, I'm on a team right now with a product owner who I just so appreciate, and it comes from she has limited understanding of how the technology works, but instead is incredibly invested in understanding her customer, and she's able to tell stories of using customers' names. Like, last week I met with Kelly, and Kelly had this experience with our product, and she then is able to show us, using a journey map. We have it in a shared location, so we'll sometimes pull that up at the sprint planning session when she's setting the vision for the sprint, and she'll say, I want to help Kelly. She got stuck right here in this system. She was found this confusing. And now when my product owner sets that vision, the development team members are empathizing with Kelly, and they're saying, I know exactly where that is in the system. And almost without even needing to speak it, the developers, they're solutioning. They're like, yep, I can see, you know what? I can see a way we can make that better. And during sprint planning, the conversation is much less about user story number 1721. And instead, it's more about, when Kelly visits that particular site, what if we moved the field up into the top of page so she didn't have to scroll? And my product owner says, that might work. And it becomes this collaborative experience called sprint planning, and much less this sort of prescription. The product owner reads the story, the developer is asking any questions. It's like, no, I mean, eventually we get to that. But those are the best product owners. They sort of speak that way and behave that way.
And I want to highlight this that you just described from this product owner, which is the ability to tell stories about real people.
Oh yeah.
And how often do we feel completely disconnected from reality and how our products are used? If we could just smell a little bit of humanity in the products we are developing, wouldn't we also be more inspired and creative and have that vision for our own products?
Well, you sure hope so. I mean, I get that there's probably going to be some developers on the team that are just there because they just want to develop, and I'm a REST API developer, and so I don't really care about the user experience. But I don't know. I tend to think people want to be motivated. They want autonomy, mastery, and purpose, as Dan Pink says. I tend to think knowledge workers want those things. And so when a product owner comes in and brings that humanity, to your point, to our product, we tend to get better products.
Absolutely. We get much better products when we look at our users as humans, people we care about and want to help succeed. Mike, it's been a great week with you.
Yeah,
lots of stories and some polemic statements as well. Go back and listen to those and reflect, why not, on what it would mean to turn the knob all the way up to 11. But Mike, we're getting close to the end. Before we go, though, share with us, where can we find out more about you and the work that you're doing?
Yeah, thanks for that. So I own a small training company called Kairise, Kairise, Kairise. You can learn more at kairise.com. We offer currently the only self-paced certified Agile foundational training. Our learners end up with the ICP from IC Agile. We're very proud of this product. We get lots of good reviews. And we help enterprises get a foundational training in as they're standing up and doing training. It's all foundational stuff, so it's going to be basics for most of your listeners. But maybe you're in an organization and you want to handle that training in a way that is engaging and exciting, and but at your own pace. We can help get your team certified. Kairise.com. You can learn more there. Of course, I post on LinkedIn daily. Would welcome your feedback there. You can find me at linkedin.com/cyberlyons, or just search for Mike Lyons. I'll come up there. And it's been just what a treat. What a great treat to get to spend time with you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Likewise, Mike, likewise. And all the links will be in the show notes for everybody to go and check out KaiRise and, of course, interact with Mike on LinkedIn. And why not listen to the episode, and whatever you agree with or disagree, that's fine. Just go back and talk to Mike about, understand his perspective and what has driven those lessons for him. Mike, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your generosity with your time and your knowledge.
You're welcome. Have a great one, man. We'll see you around.
One more week of the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast is over, but there's a lot more we have to share. We have developed our own membership site where you find a community of active and engaged Scrum Masters. In this site, you get access to exclusive content and get to interact with us, your podcast hosts, as well as the best Scrum Masters in the world. So join us at scrummasterpodcast.com and keep this podcast free of advertising. See you next week for one more full week of Scrum Master tips and tricks. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.